Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Test Flight in the F-86 Sabre. And I'm up on the... this will be the final mission of the Test Flight series. I'm to the point now where I'm ready to move on to a single mission. I've accomplished everything that I needed and wanted to accomplish here. But I'm just finishing out with like a little discussion of air to ground. Now I'm going to employ some rockets. I'll go down to the auto position this time. And just... pick off a whole bunch of rockets on this pass. Okay, let me go back to off on this switch, off on my bombing delay. I'll go back to manual release. I'll go to rocket on my site selector. I'll go for the mill setting that I had kind of decided on. That was all the way over to the right. Although I could get some better mill settings if those don't work out by using the manual pip system in rockets. I'm positive I could do that. And I'll uncage the sight. Okay, now... Okay, let me just roll in here and I'll throw these in here on some vehicle targets. And then if I can pick up my air threats, yeah, there they are, orbiting out there, then I will go ahead and set up for some air-to-air gunnery and for GAR-8 A9B employment. Okay, so let me just put some rockets in on this target. Okay, this is what I really want to figure out is some long-range mill settings. I'll get that later. I mean, what I usually do from here, especially as I get into the On the Range series and figuring that stuff out to that much detail. Okay, get a little bit of a nose down as the rockets fire. That was all the rockets I had right there. But flying it over and over, I mean, I know that I say, yeah, it's important to fly the whole mission over and over. But when it comes to nailing down mill settings for bombing and rocket deliveries, yeah, what I usually do is just set up this mission and have me at an air star just over the range, and then just do whatever I need to do, you know, just over and over and over without having to go through the entire startup. There is something to be said for doing the startup every time, but it depends on what you're trying to accomplish. Let me go to external, make sure that is everything. And did I not... Well, I've got to get that down. I've got to get into the habit of retracting and turning off and retracting my lights after takeoff. Okay, so that's it for air-to-ground employment. Let me go back to gun on my sight. Let me go rockets. Back to off. Let me go to guns on this selector dial. Okay, let me do missiles first. Let me figure out the GAR-8s. So... okay, the setup on this, from my understanding, let me start my timer again, and add about 4 to 5 minutes to that. Okay, my understanding is that to fire a missile, you need to go to the missile setting. Okay, and there's my AIM-9 growl. Now I'm getting audio directly from the AIM-9 seeker. And now, yep, I can increase and decrease the audio volume using this. Now, the AIM-9B is a very, very simple missile. There's no caging or uncaging of it. There is only, let me see, you only select your missile, get into the right general area. I believe it's, I'd have to look this up and see how it happened on the old AIM-9. There's a great great book out there, it's called Sidewinder, and it goes into the engineering behind the AIM-9 and gives a lot of detail on some of the first test firings and a lot of the engineering that went into it. But from what I remember, okay, I have the salvo setting. This will fire both missiles at one time. I have the right hardpoint setting that'll just fire the one on the right side. I have the left and right setting. That'll start at the left, fire that missile. The next missile to fire will be the one on the right. Okay, so I think it's as simple as that. At this point, all I need to do is lock a target and depress and hold the save launch button, and the missile will come off. Now, I need to be within G limits, so I need to not have this light on. Let me see what the G limit is going to be. It's 3 Gs. Okay, so 3 Gs is the limit for AIM-9s. And when you're in here maneuvering with an aggressive enemy, that's going to be hard to stay within, because boy, you're going to have to be kind of almost leveled out and unload the aircraft, get a lock, and then fire. So yeah, that's going to be a little bit of a challenge actually to employ these. Okay, now. Okay, let me go ahead and dive on these MiGs and see what kind of see what happens with the tone. Okay, they're still quite a ways out, and to get a lock, I'm going to need to be behind these guys. So let me do sort of a lead pursuit on them. Okay, and already I'm getting. We can see the red light come on the gun sight. That means that the radar is picking it up and is starting to give me ranging information. Okay, there's the. Or no, I was seeing the G limit, but anyway, yeah, there's the radar lock light, so I'm starting to get ranging information. It's flickering, so I don't believe that means I have a good lock. And I'm definitely not getting accurate ranging information because it's stuck at 600? I'm going to take that to be 600 feet. Okay, let me pop it over here to the right slightly. I'll do kind of a lag pursuit on this guy. Okay, roll in on number 2, and I should be able to get a good lock at this distance. Ah, nothing. Okay, let me go for lead. Where's the lead aircraft? Right there. And I'm overshooting, but okay, let me set up for this again. I'll come back once I'm in a better setup and can show what's going on. Okay, coming around, setting up again. Just playing the energy game, staying above these guys. Now I've got them in a good angle for me to roll in. Okay, so let me try to pick up tail end Charlie here. Okay, still out there at long range, although I am picking up, I don't think that's ground clutter, I think it is actually picking up the aircraft, I just can't get any good ranging data. I'm going to leave the gun sight reticle fixed and use that as sort of like a bore sight indication, or bore sight marker for my missile. And I would expect to be getting a lock any time now, or at least getting a change in the tone. Because I'm at a good angle, I'm right behind this guy. I mean, I'm not expecting this to be by any means like a miracle weapon. AIM-9Bs were a little bit shady, but yeah, I'm just getting nothing for now. Okay, so that's probably the range. Okay, that is one heck of a tone. Let me turn that down a touch. But okay, that's an AIM-9 lock tone. It didn't ramp up, it kind of onset suddenly. Okay, so right now I have a good lock on that guy. Let me try to break lock. Okay, I'll just kind of take it off here to the right. Okay, it should be breaking lock. The gimbal can't go that far on a B model. Okay, now it breaks off. Okay, let me turn in again. Okay, bore sight. Okay, lock, so boy, that's finicky, and okay, well, let me try a shot. Depress and hold. Okay, missile away. We'll see how this works. That's a perfect setup. I mean, it's from right behind him. It's really what you have to do to be able to get a hit. Okay, that works. Okay, so let me come in and do that one more time. And sometimes I wish I had. This is going to be a challenge to reach up there because I'm flying with my right hand. I usually use the mouse with the right hand, so I kind of have to transfer. Okay, fire, missile away. Okay, 2 good hits. I mean, those were not maneuvering targets against a maneuvering enemy. I don't expect these missiles to be effective, well, at all, frankly. But the basic implementation seems to be there. They seem to be working just fine. It's going to be a, I mean, this is realistic as far as the ergonomics of getting up there and getting to that switch. I mean, it's not in a very good position for a pilot. I mean, granted, you'd be able to reach up there with your left hand. Sometimes I wish that I had like two mice, one for my right hand, one for my left, but I mean, that just is actually not a bad idea, but I don't know, I'll think about that some more. But yeah, it's just kind of awkward to reach up there, and it's not something that I want to map to my HOTAS because it should be awkward to reach up there. That was one of the complaints that like really did come into play from pilots. Okay, so that's AIM-9. about 900 pounds of fuel. I got some more playtime left. So let me do some gunnery here. Okay, so I've got my selector switch set to gun. I'm in, go to the guns setting, my master switch. I'll go to 33 feet. That's the wingspan of a MiG-15. Okay, I'm leaving my sweep in maximum. That is about it. Okay, so let me see here. Let me uncage the sight. I'm just going to hold it electrically caged with the switch that's on my throttle. And I've got a switch also mapped on my throttle. I think I showed it during the previous videos that I can use to manually adjust the range, but I have a radar lock now, so it should be giving me good ranging information on these aircraft. So what I should do is, okay, let me do kind of a lag pursuit. Use my energy. I have about they're at about 350 knots. That's what I set them up for. I'm at about 400 knots, so I have altitude advantage. I have energy advantage. Let me just roll in on this guy. I'm a little bit, yeah, that's actually way too far out to do this. So let me catch up a little bit. I'll roll in and see how this works. Okay, so I'm in a good position. Okay, I'm going to roll in on this trailing MiG. Okay, radar lock. I'm going to release. And, geez, overshot. I think they were, I don't know, I think they were in a turn too. Anyway, wow, why didn't that work? That should have... I'm surprised it was... And it all comes down to flying technique as well. Just like there is a technique that... or techniques to use when you're rolling out on a target to make sure that you're going to be, you know, in a good firing position or a good position to release a bomb. There's also a definite technique that's required to ensure that you're in a good position to fire in an aircraft once you start to move around and maneuver on it. So let me see if I can get a lock on this guy. Okay, still got the flickering light. Okay, I'm going to uncage the sight though. I can see as I move it around that I am getting... Yeah, I am getting, you know, some lead on the aircraft. That's way too far to take a shot. Although, I don't know. Let me try this. Okay, let me go to guns on my selector switch. That would help. Okay, I've got a good position on this guy. Let me roll in. Okay, sights caged. Okay, rolling out, uncage. Pull a little bit of lead on him. Okay, good luck. Okay, not bad. Boy, it doesn't get... It's... You have to be close for the sight or for the radar to really get a solid positive lock. Okay, so let me try this from a high perch. Do like a little lag roll on him. Come on in. I know I've got the other two behind me, but I just, yeah, I'll just roll in on this guy again. Okay, I got a lot of overtake. Okay, well, not actually, no, not much at all. 300 knots. Okay, now I've got some overtake on him. Okay, I'll uncage the sight. You see how effective this is out of long range. Okay, well, I'm not getting accurate ranging information. There's no way... I don't know, that could be 2,400 feet. Let me put it up here. Oh, that's not bad. Okay, I am getting good data. Okay, there's a solid lock. Okay, and off the turret, and I'll just keep the altitude advantage here. Not that they're maneuvering, or not that it really matters. But okay, yeah, that's not bad. It's pretty effective. It is taking a lot longer than I would have expected for the radar to achieve a solid lock. That is unexpected, but it does seem to be giving accurate ranging information. And the sight does seem to be accurate even out at those long ranges. Granted, it's against a non-maneuvering target, and I'm trying to fly it pretty smoothly and not really yank and bank it around, but... Okay, let me try just one more setup on this guy. Okay, release the caging switch. Okay, and I'll just kind of pull some lead on him, try to get the reticule up there. It's way, way further out than Yeah, I don't know if I buy 2,600, that could be yards, now that I think about it. And that's actually a little, that's definitely beyond the max range, or max effective range of the gun in either case. This is a little bit more reasonable, I think. So let me see here, let me bring it on down. Okay, that's solid. And if I could only fly, that would be pretty effective. Okay, so that's air to air. Okay, yeah, that's how it works. I think I've got that down. And as a backup, let me see, there's a significance here to the wingspan, and that's going to be, I almost guarantee that's going to put, the wingspan of a MiG is going to fit within the reticule at the optimum firing range. So, I mean, that's where the guns will be harmonized. That's usually how that works. At the optimum range, that'd be right about there. It's going to be, yeah, within the wingspan is within the reticule, and that's going to be controlled by this. Let me try that. Yeah, see how the reticule grows as the wingspan goes out? It's just an indication of optimum firing range. Got it. Okay, very sweet. Okay, yeah, that's awesome. That's working perfectly. I like it. And yeah, AIM-9s, they do seem to be working just fine. I was a little bit skeptical because there was a forum post like 2 days, I kid you not, before release, that said, it was from one of the developers that said that the GR8s were not implemented. I don't know, they are probably maybe partially implemented, or I might have just taken it out of context and maybe it was just not implemented in the quick start guide. I don't know, but they do seem to be, at least in a rudimentary manner, working just fine. Okay, so I'll bring it in here for a quick landing. This video might run a little bit long, but it's going to be the last one in the series, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so let me see. Overall impressions of the F-86. It's in a beta state, and it shows in a few locations. I mean, there were just some little quirks during some of the procedures. You know, some of the switches, I guess in particular, you know, I would expect to, you know, like this one, left click is making the switch cycle right. I would have expected the opposite. There were some other cases where that was the case, definitely with this one. Well, no, that one's actually good, but it was the, yeah, it's just kind of random. And random isn't good. I mean, if it was consistent one way or the other, that'd be fine. I mean, and if that's my only beef with a simulation as complex as this, I mean, my goodness, this is a great simulation. There's just no getting around that. Best ever. I cannot imagine that there is anything equivalent to this for an F-86 or to a Korean War 50-0 fighter out there, period, right now. So I definitely cannot complain, and I know very well how hard it is to get all this stuff done and to implement systems, and especially the 3D modeling. My God, the job that has gone into this and the work that went into this. If you think this is as easy as, you know, getting a 3D model off a Turbo Squid and throwing it in there and, you know, doing some quick code for systems, no, it is not. It is not that. I know the pain that goes into trying to do something like this, and yeah, this is just an amazing, amazing feat. Okay, so I'm just going to take it around here to a straight-in landing. I'm going to take this as the downwind. I'm going to extend the speed brakes. Landing speed I did not calculate, but I'm going to take it for about 130 on the approach, and I believe 116, I believe, is what I've been landing with empty aircraft. Although I should confirm that. Push the throttle up just a touch more. Okay, so I'm down to about 12,000 pounds. Okay, 135, 112. Got it, 135, 112. Okay, so airspeed, still need to bleed off some more. But okay, I'm on a adequate setup here. And once I'm below 180, I'll go flaps down and gear down and take her straight in. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, landing lights, extend. And let me go flaps down, gear down. Push the throttle up just a touch. I've just been doing some atrocious patterns here lately. I've been kind of skimping on this. I nailed it the first time I tried it, and since then I've just kind of done it very, very half-heartedly. Okay, 130. I'll just take it on around here. Let me get my trim set back up. A little bit nose down is what I need, and pull the throttle back in. Okay, verify gear down, flaps down. Okay, everything's looking just fine. Okay, and turning to final. And 2's out there struggling to stay in formation. I should have sent him home, but... Okay, throttle's in just a touch. 140. I was looking for 116 on this touchdown. Okay, over the threshold. You go ahead and pull the throttle in. Let me flare. Okay, 116. Okay, that's a good landing. I'll take that. Let me just roll it out. I don't want to brake just yet. I'm just going to leave the speed brakes out. Now I'll start some light braking just to bring her on in. Okay, nose wheel steering is going to engage. Okay, got it. And some more light braking just to slow her down. We want to be careful on nose wheel steering, as you can get into... Yeah, okay, that'll work. You can get into just kind of like almost like a PIO sometimes with it, and I was on the verge of doing it right there, actually. So light braking, very, very gentle on the nose wheel steering. Yeah, it's just so touchy, right at that one little speed area, right, you know, between 40 and really between 10 and 40 knots. It's just kind of very, very twitchy, or very, very easy to over control with nose wheel steering. Okay, so let me go ahead and bring it on in and get her shut down. Okay, checklist up, and I blew off the before landing checklist, although I did catch everything that I was supposed to catch. Okay, and then I'll go straight to the stopping engines. And I've already done on the range videos for everything that I've covered so far. I think the last one that I'm going to do is going to be the AIM 9. So I think that's really the last F-86 video until I get to a single mission that's going to come up. And at this point, yeah, I'm kind of limited on the amount of videos that I can upload in a day due to internet connection and, well, other interests. This isn't what I do all day, believe it or not. So yeah, usually about two a day. So you'll probably see all of the on the range stuff now that I think about it before you even see this. This might be like 2 or 3 weeks out after I flew it that you see this. So okay, toe brakes hold, engine 65-70% for 2 minutes, throttle off, engine master switch off. I'm just going to take that as good because yeah, I do want to get up and walk around a little bit. Okay, throttle off. Okay, engine master switch, battery. Okay, control stick cycle. Let me bleed off some hydraulics. Cycle until accumulators are bled down and you don't get any movement. Okay, looks good. Okay, handle out. Same thing for the alternate system. Okay, good to go. Handling. Okay, and that is that. Let me go ahead and open up the canopy. And that's it. Yeah, that's the last video of the test flight series. So, wow, I hope you did enjoy that. I mean, that was... It's kind of not a pain, but man, that is tiring to figure stuff out as you describe it. So I am beat. I'm going to go fly something else. Go fly the Huey for a while, honestly, after doing this. And then come back after a little bit and do some single missions, although you won't see the break because I'll get this up for a while, like I mentioned. Okay, but yeah, that's a lot of fun. Great, great aircraft, highly recommended. And thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next series.